Hey, baby. Did you have fun at the Unknown Hanson concert tonight, baby?
Yeah.
They all do, darling. You come back here backstage to the King's dressing room for a reason? Like maybe you want to make me happy? Like maybe you want to make me real happy? Well, if you do, go get yourself a damn cheeseburger and eat that sumbitch and put some meat on them bones right now. You little college waif model gal, get on the hell on out of here. Who the hell sent that pitiful little thing in here? I want meat at the end of the show. Hell, I'm hungry. Roke!
Hey, welcome back to the Dirty Overhaul Rock Show. This is Dirty Dave coming at you. Sitting across from me, as always, is
Mr. Mahogall, first name Jack, and with us, Mr. Brian Meyer from Alexis Machine.
Hey, everybody, give him a little bit of the clap.
Finally.
Yes.
We take
something I've always wanted.
There's a little bit of the clap.
Yes.
Well, you've played it after hours, so
I have.
So I can't believe you haven't already got it.
I have not. But we're there in 2 weeks. So,
Hell
you know,
yeah.
yes.
There's always hope. Mr. Brian Meyer, you're one of the first people when we first started doing this crap stuff.
I think you had it right the first time.
Fine Quality Family Show that started like talking to us and stuff on the internet, and we said we got to get this guy.
I had absolutely nothing else to do.
There you go. And that's
So
what
I
it
was
said
like,
in the promo.
well, yeah.
And when I have nothing else to do,
I have nothing else to do, and and like what Susie said, well, I'm completely bored to tears. You know, and I told her that when I spoke to her on the phone, and I said, as an example,
She said that happens a lot.
yeah, I told her, I said, you know, you could say when you're sitting around bored shitless, and the only thing she did was she changed it to bored to tears.
Yeah.
She said, my mom might listen to this.
She had poetic license to do
We
that.
used to have this song back in the earlier mid '80s that we had written. Band I was playing with called Devious Night.
Yes.
And it started off.
Devious Night.
It started off like this.
That's Scott Ward.
Hello, little girl. Would you like some candy? And the guitar player would go, but my mommy said, and go, the hell with your mother. Get in the car.
Sorry.
And there you go, tangent number one.
There's tangent number one out of the way.
All right, let me mark that off there.
Yeah,
Tangent
put it on the
Meyer.
list.
Yes, sir.
You're kind of new to us, man.
Am I?
Yeah, we're old as hell. I don't know if you've noticed that by
Yeah.
looking at us. I'm 31.
Bullshit!
30-ish is the one. And
Yeah.
Dave is like 48. So we just started hearing about you guys
Yeah.
a couple months ago, man. So who have you? I mean, you've been around for a while, right?
Since 1964.
Well, I mean,
No,
after that,
no,
in the music scene in this area.
Well, yes and no.
Are you from High Point?
I'm actually from Baltimore, Maryland,
Oh,
by
well,
way
shit.
of Syracuse, New York. And
Damn.
Oh.
How in the hell did you get in High Point?
Well, I live in Greensboro, actually, but I get in High Point by getting in my car and
Right.
driving down Wendover. But
That
I
helps.
mean,
Or walking.
yeah, it takes a little longer, but you
Yeah.
eventually get
You
there.
get there. It's like
No,
How to get to
actually,
Carnegie Hall.
You
you get in your car and you drive.
practice, don't you?
Yeah.
No, my dad actually worked for Miller Brewing Company. And,
Ooh.
yeah.
Good
And-
beer tie-in.
Yes. And he was transferred down here in 1978 when they opened the plant up in Eden, North Carolina.
Okay.
And we lived in Reidsville. And Reidsville was my first exposure to the North Carolina rock and roll scene, probably beginning in 1987, the year I graduated high school. We were getting ready to take the traditional you graduate high school in North Carolina and go down to Myrtle Beach trip. And one of my, I understand it's
a rite of passage.
Yes, it is. One of my friends had gotten a girl pregnant, and he could not take the trip. He said, you know, I'm going to sell my spot at the condo to somebody else, and he sold it to my friend Jason. And my friend Jason, he was not my friend at the time because I didn't like him.
Yeah.
But
That'll do it every time.
he was sort of
And co-host.
He was aiming for my spot as you know the smart ass of the school, and
Okay.
that was my job.
Yeah,
and I
you
was
had
like,
that
hey
down.
dude, back off.
Back up.
But he started hanging out the week before we went down there, and we went and filled his Volkswagen Rabbit with a bunch of liquor and beer that his 21-year-old cousin had purchased for us. And if we'd have gotten pulled over, we'd have been arrested for bootlegging, or if we'd have wrecked, we'd have turned into a blue flame on the highway. But while we were hanging out, he had told me that he said, there's this band that my friend Derek, who was 2 years younger than us in school, played in, and we had to go check it out. And it actually was Kenny Callum from Magazine's very first band.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And we would go over there after school and hang out, and they would rehearse, and I would write down Kenny's lyrics for him because he did not know them.
That was before the internet, which saved me.
Yes, we actually were sitting there with a tape, and
I remember that.
Tape, rewind, rewind. I think he said this. Hang on.
Well, I think I remember Shane downloading some lyrics on his
yeah,
iPod
we
for
were
a
playing
certain
one time.
co-host.
A song we'd been doing for, I don't know, 10 years.
Yeah.
I had a brain fart.
That's not what he says.
What was that old saying, the old song where it was like, hold me close, Tony Danza?
Tony Danza.
Excuse me while I kiss this guy. Yeah. That's
Or,
right.
dude pissing out my back door.
There's a bathroom on the right.
Yeah, we still
all,
do that.
all that
one.
good stuff. But anyway.
Dirty jeans, dungarees.
Yes, yes. Dirty deeds done with sheep.
That's what I was going to say.
I like that one better.
Especially in Wilkes County.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway,
Nobody's listening in Wilkes County.
trust me, nobody is. But anyway,
Oh, God.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm a
Oh,
kidder.
hey.
I'm a kidder.
We're trying to get you into Wilkesboro. There
I'm
you
a
go.
kidder, sir. I'm a kidder. No, so I started hanging out with them, and they had a really good guitar player named John Brown, and
Ask him again.
he'll tell you the same.
That's right.
And this band was called Vandal, and they started playing out, and they actually won the GYC Battle of the Bands back in '87.
Cool.
And we went with them to their first big gig at the Lighthouse in Elon and stuff like that, and I hung out with them for a while.
So we made it.
That's it. And I didn't start playing myself until
Oh, those say playing with
myself. I
himself.
didn't start playing with myself
I did
until he
that
hit that
earlier.
one note, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
That's why I'm late.
I like that note, don't you?
Yes.
lady.
I like the way you talk.
That was a good one. But anyway, I had decided I was going to be a guitar player. So the
Yeah,
guitar
I saw a couple pictures. I
Yeah, the
didn't know
guitar
you
player
played.
from Vandal, John, had taken me out to get my first guitar, and I was actually working for Miller Brewing Company in their summer internship program where, college students don't do much and they make a whole lot of money.
Damn.
Allegedly to pay for school and
Like
stuff
being a
like that.
musician.
I was like, hey, I'm going to buy a guitar, so I bought my first guitar, which was a 1981 Les Paul Custom.
Ooh,
Wow.
sweet.
Started off right.
Damn.
And then
Yeah.
I proceeded to learn 3 chords, and
Next thing you know,
I
you're
think
playing
right-
out on the circuit.
right about now, I still know those 3 chords, and that's
Hell
about
yeah.
it.
And
Do you
kick
still have the
ass on
guitar?
those 3 chords.
I do not. I actually sold it to Steve Harris.
Sorry.
Wait a minute. Steve Harris, not the bass player.
No, Steve Harris, who's currently playing.
Oh, hello.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Now
called
the
an
mellow
asterisk.
sound, yes. No, I actually sold it to Steve Harris. He was playing in a band called Metropolis at the time, and he was in Motorfinger, and now he's in Line
Yeah,
of Fire
that
with
rings-
Sean Pilato.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway,
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad
Sean-
that you got that.
Yeah, Sean
Dave,
messaged me
probably don't
yesterday,
know
as a
this,
matter of
but-
fact.
He did. He messaged me and said, "Can you get me on the Dirty Overall Rock Show?" And I was
And he's like, why? Why? Seriously?
Hey, where you going?
Yeah, what do you think? We
I think I owe it to him, but you don't owe these guys anything.
Oh,
you know. But
we do know Nicky Joe DiMaggio in that
Nicky
band.
Joe.
yes, Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah.
And that other band he was in back in the 90s, I can't remember what it was. Started with a D.
D's.
D-I something. Damage.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
That was D's.
That board guy might have jammed with them.
Might have been that, yeah.
I knew it.
The
Yes.
Metal God.
Metal God.
We had him doing that. We were going, Metal God. He was going, Metal God.
Yeah.
But anyway, I decided I wanted to be a guitar player, and at the time I went off to college, to East Carolina University, and I was walking into the dorms the first day, and I had my Les Paul and its nice little chainsaw case, and I was walking up there, and this little skinny kid came up to me, and he said, "Hey, is that a guitar?" And I was like, "No."
Are you just glad to see me?
It's a grand piano. He said, "Are you a guitar player?" I said, "Oh no, I am not."
I like to.
And he said, "That's a shame. We're putting a band together." And I said, "Well, I'm actually more of a singer than I am a guitar player."
Yeah.
I lied to him.
But I can hold.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That's what I do. Just hold
we
it.
sort of got a band together that never got off the ground because we couldn't ever find a drummer because we were all living in the dorms and didn't have a place for the drummer to rehearse.
Yeah.
But the guitar player that we were playing with made a fatal error, and he took me to see a band that needed a singer.
Uh-oh.
And that was where I learned how band business is done, where
Yeah.
they sort of squire you off to the side and they go, "So you're singing in Mike's band?
Yeah.
We have gigs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interested?
Yeah.
What would it take to put
Yeah.
you in this band
I
today?"
love you.
Yeah, we opened for this band one time, and they're like, "So we're thinking about getting rid of our bass player anyway."
And that band was us.
Okay.
No.
It was a Saddle Brown, actually.
Saddle Brown. That's a fantastic name. There's no band I would rather play in than Saddle Brown.
I just look on Brian's face every time you say Saddle Brown. You go, "Ooh."
Yeah, we got a lot of, like, every time we talk about bands, like me and him, we always call them by different names. We don't ever
Yeah.
call them by their real
No.
name. We're like, we haven't got one for you guys yet. but
Not yet.
We had Doo-Doo Brown.
Doo Doo Brown. There's the band that opens for us in South Carolina.
And what are they called?
Oh, God.
What are they called? We could probably ruin that for them. Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
It's the Nate Higgers band.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I told you.
Yeah. Okay.
Old Nate.
Let me go out to the car and get
Yeah.
my 10-foot pole. I'll be right back.
Old Nate is
Old Nate and the
there's going to be a
boys.
cross burning out front later tonight when we leave.
Oh, Brian, where you going? Where you?
Hello. Is
Hey,
this,
where you
is
going?
this thing on? Hello.
He's back.
And we are in Lexington. Yes.
I love you.
Yes, we are.
He said that. I didn't say it. But I love my brothers. So you started.
Hey, man.
Hey, mother. No.
Okay, fine.
So you said you're playing with who's the band?
I was playing with a band called Bad Attitude down in Greenville, and we played a couple of shows in downtown Greenville. Played the Attic once. You may have seen the
Many
Attic once or
times.
twice, yeah.
Yeah.
Played the lovely Omar's sub shop downtown.
Oh,
back when
yeah.
they had
Yeah.
Did you ever play
bands.
Wrong Way Corrigans?
We played Corrigan's. We played the New Deli.
Oh, yeah, New
the
Deli.
New
Yep.
Deli.
Well, I played the old deli.
We played several frat parties for the Teaks. The Teaks seemed to love
Never
us
got
for
into
some
the
reason.
elbow room.
Yeah. No, I did.
That was more of a dance thing.
Yes,
but
it was
The
a,
elbow
a
room.
dance
Cool
thing.
name.
they would
though.
do like top 40 from time to time.
But we played with them for a while, and when I decided to leave East Carolina and move back to the Greensboro area, Warren, the bass player who had originally recruited me for his band in the dorms, asked me if I'd come play at a party that they were putting together. He said, "Come rehearse with this band. We're going to play this big bash at the end of summer and do that." And they were not too good. But I had nothing else to do, so I went up and played with this band called Teaser, and we did this one gig. And in the band Teaser, let's see, one of the guitar players went on to a band called Gloom, Despair, and Agony, which started off as a Misfits cover band up in Virginia, and they're doing very well, playing their own sort of psychobilly kind of stuff.
Hell yeah.
Warren, the bass player, went on to play in a band called Suicide Blonde out of Raleigh that was pretty big 80s cover band. And before that, he was in a band called, I believe they were called Mother Earth.
Wait a minute. Suicide. Were they the ones that did Joey, or was it Four Non
What have I
Blondes?
heard? I've heard that.
That was
I get
that was
Concrete
Four
Blonde and
Non-Blondes.
Suicide.
Yeah. Suicide Blonde. It was they were sort of an 80s genre tribute that played some pretty big places here in North Carolina, and
Okay.
they just recently hung it up. And through playing in that band Teaser, I had met a guitar player by the name of Jay Calfee, and Jay Calfee said, we'll come into the story a bit later, but my girlfriend at the time was like, "You are not going to continue playing with these guys because it's an embarrassment to me." And I was like, okay. So I came back to Greensboro, and I did what you did in the 80s and early 90s, because there was no internet, there was no Craigslist or anything like that. I went and put an ad up at the Music Loft on Lawndale
Thought you
with
was
little
gonna say
tear-off strips.
the ESP. Remember that?
Yes, there.
Yeah.
Yes, ESP
That was
magazine.
awesome.
Mm-hmm. And I put the little ad up there with tear-off strips, and the day after I put it up, I got a call from a guitar player by the name of Billy Rager, who was in a band called SST, and he was putting a new project together with John Harris, who is the current bass player for Alexis Machine. And this band, this would have been about 1990, this band would turn into Alexis Machine in 1990. It was me and Billy Rager, John Harris, and a drummer by the name of Mark Yarborough. And at the time, we played probably 75% original, 25% covers, and that was back when you could do that.
Yeah.
Bullshit! Yes. And
Still my gig over there.
hey, man.
I'm sound effects.
Don't be fronting on the sound effects, man. That's the only thing he do.
You prick.
Fuck you.
Thank you
You're
very much.
interrupting the man. Go ahead, sir.
So we got together for the first time. Mark Yarborough was not playing with him yet at this drummer's shed in his backyard, and we went and played some Dio and some Kiss and some King's X and stuff like that. And as we're walking out, he said, and John Harris put his arm around me. He said, "Do you want to come back?" I was like, "Sure." He goes, "Well, what do you think about the drummer?" And I was like, "He's all right." And he was like, "Don't worry about him. He's gone." I was like, "Okay."
Stop whining.
So we brought in Mark Yarborough, and we learned a bunch of songs, and we were one of the greatest bands to never play.
I've been in a couple of those.
We had gotten
Stop
together.
whining.
We had all this stuff together. We had a gig set up with our fine friends in Hayes Rail.
Oh yeah.
They've been around.
Kenny
God, as long
Kenny
as we
Callum
have.
was singing for Hayes Rail at that point in time, and he said, "You guys want to get into the carousel?" And he goes, "You can open for us." I said, "Great." So we told Mark, and Mark said promptly, "I don't want to play in the triad." And we said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, this is a good band. We ought to be in L.A. or
Oh, God.
or Seattle or
Another one.
or Atlanta or something like that." And I said, well, don't you think we ought to play a gig here first so we can
And
maybe
get warmed
have
up.
a review,
Yeah.
or you expect us to go out to the Roxy in L.A. and go, "Hey, we're from North Carolina. We've
He's
never
like-
played a gig. We'd like to play."
He's like, I know Lemmy. It's all taken care of.
Yeah.
Speaking of people, as you know, we need to take a quick break for some people that we know, and we're going to be right back and get some more story from Mr. Brian from Alexis Machine. This is the Dirty Overhaul Rock Show.
Yeah.